Welcome back to another one of our weekly Ask the Trainer roundtables. This week we have a couple questions. The first one being, when bringing on a new client, our goal is primarily being a source of external motivation. How do we eventually bridge that gap, or change from being an external motivator or someone being motivated by external sources and finding that internal motivation to keep going, turning this into a lifestyle?
I think that motivation comes with results first.
Yeah.
When people start seeing the changes. Well, I think when people hear from other people about the changes they're seeing or see it personally, I don't know, a lot of people like hearing it from other people more than seeing it personally because we doubt ourselves. But I think that's where it starts, is hearing it from others and seeing that change.
Yeah, and I think we talked about this last week or the week before, but when it comes to motivation, I'm not really sure that's what you should be relying on. I really don't think motivation is anything. I think if you just become dedicated, over the course of the next month you start seeing results, the course of 2 months you see more results, you're not going to stop. Why would you? It'd be silly. That's the way I see it. I never had to rely on, oh my God, I need to be so excited to get into the gym. That's not me. I went in because I felt like I had to, and I left with a reward.
Yeah. As you start seeing the results, it becomes easier. I like the you earning credibility over time. Once you believe that you can do something, it's a whole lot easier once you have the confidence.
I don't think anyone, I shouldn't say I don't think anyone, but I think it's hard to start off with exercising, enjoying it. I think it's really hard to love it when you first start it. But I think over time you find what you enjoy and you find out how you're going to enjoy this whole process of getting healthy, and I think that's where the willingness to come back in the door is really...
It becomes more enjoyable when you're good at it.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, no one likes being bad at anything,
Yeah.
And when you first start, you're bad at it.
Yeah.
I mean, like you were saying too, there's times I walk into the gym unmotivated and leave the gym unmotivated, but I still feel better about myself for going, and I know that'll help.
Yeah. Any step into the right direction is still a step in the right direction. It doesn't matter how big it is, So, not every day is a winner. Sometimes you just gotta get in and get out.
Yeah.
Be done with it.
Sometimes you don't have to gotta do less thinking, just doing.
Yeah,
Just coming to the gym,
Hike up your britches and get in here,
Right.
I think a big thing though, obviously seeing the results and seeing the results from other people and their success is huge. But another aspect I really believe in is find that, something other than yourself, something bigger than yourself. Because if, especially with clients that have like family and kids and things like that, family and my kids are like everything to me. So when I work out, like it's more than me just trying to be healthy. It's me trying to set this huge, massive example for my son, my daughter, my wife.
Yeah.
I want to be that ultimate example for my family. So for people who have families, or maybe you just have loved ones who believe in you and maybe don't believe enough in yourself, think about those people that believe that you can do this, right? Make it something bigger than yourself. And I think that is so huge that if we can tap into something outside of our own being and tap into the people that are surrounding us, who love us, who believe in us, that is such a huge impact on us as far as getting motivated to keep on going, even on those days when we feel unmotivated.
I think that's such a big piece, because fitness isn't always going to be someone's number one priority like it is for us. Like I would say everybody, like at least here, fitness is one of our top, probably 3 priorities. Is being fit, strong, the best versions of ourselves. For some people I know, people that work in other fields that don't have the luxury of being in a gym all day, every day, they kind of have to frame it in a way where it becomes about making them the best accountant they can be, the best dad, the best whatever. So being the best version of themselves eventually becomes fulfilling, but that's a process. Right, for sure. I love the belief part. I always say you kind of have to borrow the belief of somebody else before you have it as your own. So I believe someone that is coming in can lose 200 pounds, because I've seen it happen multiple times.
Right.
They have no belief that they can lose a pound when they first start.
Yeah.
And I think to add on to what Chris was saying is I think it's important when you do start journeying down this path that you tell everyone. I think you should get as many people on your side as you can, because they're going to help hold you accountable. Susan in accounting might have heard your story, and she's going to ask you one week how you're doing, and it might be a down week for you, and that might be the kick in the ass you need.
Good old Susan.
Yeah, good old Susan. Rhonda. Everyone's got a Rhonda.
You can't trust Rhonda's bro.
Can't trust Rhonda.
I've said that forever.
Sorry, all the Rhondas.
Probably shady though.
That's your mom's name?
That's my mother's
That's a
name.
beautiful name.
So Brody's mom might be listening.
I've seen Brody's mom, I can vouch for her though, she's
Right.
an exception, that's a good Rhonda.
That's a good Rhonda. Anything else? So kind of
Yeah,
shifting that.
I had a thought there though, I always, and this is something weird about me too, I always tell my clients that the word potential is like the scariest thing to me, probably causes the most fear of me, because we all have those people that believe in us, like Chris is talking about his family, he wants to be the ultimate example, and just our loved ones, you know. We have these people hyping us up that believe in us more than we can, and I think that's terrifying, so that's why, that's a huge motivator for me, trying to be that person that everybody else thinks I can be. You know,
Yeah.
what happens if you don't? I don't want to die that way, I don't want to die with that on my chest.
That's the toughest part, is that decision, which ultimately is whether you're going to rise up to that or shrink from that completely.
Exactly.
Where everybody else is in the world that believes in you is wrong, and obviously you know right, so it's going to be kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm going to make sure I'm nowhere close to my potential. I think that's where it gets really terrifying. The self-sabotage for sure.
Yep. I don't know anything about that.
None. And the second, so we're ready to move on. The second question was difference in programming for, let's say, a new client that's just gotten started maybe in the last couple weeks or last couple months, and then someone that's a little bit more advanced or maybe intermediate. So I remember we talked about some examples before we started, but like how long will it take somebody to be on machines before they're outside swinging sledgehammers with Chris and carrying heavy stuff around the
It's really
building?
goal dependent.
Yeah, it depends. I
Where you're
can't.
coming from too.
Yeah.
I'd say on average, people start enjoying the workouts more. They start getting to do things they've been asking me about like the 2 to 3 month mark after we've ironed out. That's a huge generalization, because you want to worry about imbalances and things that are going to cause injury first, but I don't know, that's absolutely different for everyone.
Yeah.
That's a huge.
I think step one with every client is establishing big compound movements, how to use your body together, and I think improving cardiovascular health. You know, from there you can start dialing in. If that takes 2 months for somebody, it might take 8 months for someone else. You know, there's no one time frame. If you're training 7 days a week, working your ass off, working with a trainer, and eating right and doing everything perfectly, it may take you 6 weeks to be
You'd be happy
in phenomenal
too.
shape. You know.
Right.
But someone who's 200 pounds overweight and has never lifted a weight in their life and they don't like walking.
But again, if you're doing the same thing, if you're working out 7 days a week, eating perfectly, sleeping perfectly, you're going to see great changes within 2 weeks.
It's just going to take some more time, to get to your final end destination, wherever that may be,
Everybody's different,
Yeah.
But, to touch base on that, you're talking about someone who's just starting out, maybe it's been years since they've worked out. If their cardiovascular health is way out of whack, I mean, how are they going to get the most out of like an actual, strength training program? We talk about oxygen. Well, if their cardiovascular sucks, then it's going to be extremely hard for them to be able to recover. You're going to be doing sets. It's going to be hard for them to get, optimal muscle contraction during those lifts and things like that, and they're more prone to injury when they have poor cardiovascular. So it's definitely a foundation. And I think it's really important for most, pretty much across the board, I believe, for most clients to learn how to utilize their own body and their own movement patterns. Not everybody is quite there to even use their own body.
Right.
Doing squats, doing push-ups. I think that's important. If you can't even do a push-up, or you can't even do a freaking pull-up, I think that's definitely problematic. I think if we can start developing their just natural body strength and then build up from there, and then we hit machines, and then we go into more progressive program, more max percentage based each week, increasing max percentage in the program, increasing weight, doing compound movements, deadlift, squats, front squat, things like that, bench press, and we start progressing to things like that. Sometimes it could take 4 weeks. I think others it could be a lot longer. It could be a couple months before you get to that point.
You kind of have to earn their stripes.
Right. Yeah. It really depends on how hard they're willing to work to progress themselves forward into that point.
Yeah, I think at this table we have, every one of us has a different expertise in terms of our training and our style of training. Like what we consider an expert level athlete is totally different, Andy has experience playing rugby. Brody's got experience with CrossFit, top level power lifter. Coming up power lifter, but played college football. We have college football over here, plus a freaking cop. you know? And then we got Joe, who again played college football, but he's getting into Olympic lifting now, and he was pretty goddamn strong too. You know, I think we all just kind of have different expertise to where some are cardiovascular based. We used to have an Ironman that worked here, you know, that do 100-mile bike rides, and you know, to me,
Don't
don't
just
do that.
ran somewhere and never stopped running.
And to me, that's not exciting, you know, to me, that's not, but that doesn't make it any less expert, it's just not where my goals lie, you know?
I think for everybody, like, I maybe on a Greg Glassman kick or something, but our needs vary by degree, not by kind. So just because we have some, let's say an 80-year-old who's never worked out before and a 25-year-old, both of them still need to be able to accomplish the same things. They need to be able to accomplish full knee flexion, extension, ankle, dorsiflexion, plantar flexion. They need to be able to squat down and back up. If they can't, red flag, they need to be able to master like a bodyweight squat before we ever add knee load. So they kind of have to earn that.
I agree.
And
That's
obviously
a great
progression is
example.
different.
You talk about starting with that cardiovascular base too. The kid Josh trains came in already freaky strong.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
lost 15 pounds and got way stronger.
Yeah, and now, shoot, I think he's down close to 20, 25, and he's, sleep apnea is gone.
You know, look at guys like Hafthor Bjornsson starts getting his diet coached by Stan Efferding.
World's strongest man.
Yeah, world's strongest man. You know, gets more cut, looks better, and is now gaining weight again and performing better. He's the world's strongest man now, so good.
Right. In a year, did all of that.
So yeah, we can take it from a 15-year-old that wants to power lift all the way to the strongest man in the world, but you need the exact same things.
Or the 80-year-old grandma. I mean, literally, the principles are the same.
Yeah.
Eat for what you want, you know, train for what you want, and you'll get there.
Yeah.
That's it, you know?
Yeah. Cover the basics.
Super simple.
fundamental
Yeah,
movements.
it's super, super simple. As you train somebody for longer, or you worked with an athlete for a longer time, sure, you can get a little more complex, you can have a little more fun with them, but at the end of the day, is the base of it all any different?
Yeah,
Right.
move well, move quickly, and eliminate pain.
Yeah.
Everybody's goal is really we're really programming, regardless of what their goal is. If we help them become fitter, we're going to end up catching health along the way somewhere. And I mean, they're going to end up looking the way that they want. Everybody's going to end up looking different just based on their body structure. But if you're fit, you're going to end up looking the way that you want to. You're going to look like you work out, and you're going to be healthy as well.
A squat is always going to make you stronger. Doesn't matter if it's body weight or with a bar on your back or a bar on your front or a dumbbell. It doesn't matter. You know,
You got to squat, you got to lunge, you got to hinge,
some kind of push, some
you got
kind
to
of
pull,
pull. You know.
and you got to be able to stabilize your spine.
Yep.
Yep.
Gotta be able to stand up.
Weird.
Yeah.
Because these archetypes are really all the same.
Yeah.
Always the same.
If you're standing up and walking around, and hell, even if you're not, you're probably still capable of exercise. So come in, you know, work with us. As a beginner, we don't care what that even means to you. We'll take you to whatever level of expert that we can.
Do we want to talk about walking not being exercise, or
Yeah, that would be great.
maybe another,
We got a lot of
another
clients that
full
need
on?
to hear that. Yeah, we got a lot.
Walking's not exercise.
If you have to do it anyway to get from point A to point B,
Right.
Doesn't
it's not
count. I don't
exercise.
care about your 10,000 steps.
Locomotion.
Exercise is
Get
always
out of my
exercise.
face. Yes.
Mowing the lawn is not exercise, it's a necessity.
You've been mowing the lawn forever, you still don't look the way you want to.
No state recreation for,
Because everybody that ever comes in that's a manual labor job always looks fantastic and is really healthy. Unfortunately not. So
Complete opposite sometimes.
Huh?
It's a complete opposite.
Unfortunately. So we want to make sure that we take nothing for granted, check every physical capacity, and progress them kind of at their own rate, depending on where they are. They all kind of progress along the same continuum. Anything else on that? All right, guys. That's it for this week. We'll catch you again next week.